name's Tom Elkowski. Today I'm going to be walking you through a quick tutorial of how to get you started on Canvas. When you first log in, you should see a page that looks something like this. If you haven't used it yet, then you won't really have this recent activity area, but as you become more comfortable with it, this page will start to show you items that have been updated recently within your Canvas page. First thing I want to do is show you how you can load a file, download it, or upload a file from your actual computer to your Canvas page so that you have access to it through Canvas or so that your students can actually log in and use the page. So go up to the courses tab at the top. I made a default course for this called Warren Physics. So click on that. Now I'm in that class's webpage. If you look over on the left side, this left column is your navigation tab for using any aspect of Canvas that you decide to set up. So the one I'm going to focus on right now is the Files tab, so click on that. Once you're in the Files tab, you will see a folder right at the top that just says the name of your course. So mine's Warren Physics. Below that, if this is your first time doing this, you won't see anything. In this case, I've already set up a bunch of unit folders and even one for my syllabus. So you can click on any of those and you can start to see all the files and folders that I've already uploaded previous to this. What I'm going to do is show you first from my course folder is just how to add a folder. So as you move through the year, you have new units or new subjects of study that you're working on. This button up in the top right corner of that window, the Add Folder button, you can click on that and title it whatever you want. So I'm going to call it Unit 5 Forces, because that's going to be the next class or the next subject that I teach in my physics class. When you're done, just click off of that folder. And let me do that again since I messed up the first time. So add folder, U5 forces, and then click down off the bottom. It takes a second, and now that link has turned blue, so you can click on that folder. Now, of course, there's nothing in this folder, so you can keep adding more and more subfolders just like you would on your actual computer. So I can call this homework solutions. As the unit goes on, maybe I want my students to be able to see the folder, or I can open it up to them and let them see homework solutions after we've gone over it in class, just so they have something they can rely on to go project their answers against. So I'm going to click on that folder. Now I'm going to actually show you how to load a few files in. So you can go back up to the top right corner, that Add Files button. You click on that, it actually opens up your hard drive, lets you navigate all the files on your computer. So I'm going to go click on my desktop, and then this is my actual physics folder that's on my computer's hard drive, and there's my whole year, all the units I teach. So I'm going to click on my forces and laws, and then I have my own homework folder for that. So I've got all these files stored on my computer. Some of the worksheets I don't even use anymore, so I keep a copy, but I don't even want to upload them. But maybe there's a few in particular I want to just load. Whatever file you want to load, you can just click on one. So I'm going to click on 1D force problems, and then click Open File. And you'll see right up here in the middle of the screen it says Uploading one file. It takes a second, and there's my folder, or there's my file that's been uploaded. If I go back, maybe there's multiple files you want to upload, but they're not in order. So to do that, like the 2D forces key, click once on it. Then I can scroll down the list, and this worksheet free body diagrams, that's another one that I'd like to upload, but I've got all these files in between that I really don't need at this time. So I'm going to hold the control key on my keyboard and click once on free body diagrams. So now both items are selected. And I'm going to do the same for the friction key. Hold control on the keyboard, click once on the friction key, and now I'm going to click open at the bottom. And now you can see it says uploading 3 files, and as they upload, this number will decrease. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's the last file coming in right now. So there's all 3 of my worksheets. So what this does is if you allow your students to access this folder, now they can get in and they can see any one of these worksheets. And all they have to do is click once on it. And it'll take a second, and now that file's been re-downloaded to my computer. But if you put yourself in the aspect of the student, it's been downloaded to their computer so they can actually view it right from their screen. The other thing you can do, and this is how I use the file feature, is load up all your files at once right at the beginning of a unit. So let's say this was day 1 of the unit, but 2D forces I'm not going to cover until maybe next week. So I don't want my students to see that answer key. Off on the right side, you've got a couple options. You've got a lock, this pencil, which lets you rename that file or folder. So if you click that, maybe I don't want to call it 2D forces, I want to call it Forces Worksheet 2. And then you've got the trash can, which will let you delete the file if you misplaced it or you don't want it on there anymore. But the lock feature is one that I use very regularly. You click on that, this bottom option, lock until I manually unlock it, that one's by default selected. So if you click on that, click lock this file, now you can still access it from your file on any computer you log on to through Canvas. You can still access that file, but your students will not see it when they log in. If you want to make it viewable for your students again, you have to go back to that lock, give it one little click. You can see the login or the little icon itself has changed. As long as you don't see a little lock on the folder, the file title, then that means the students can see it. So anything you don't want them to see, you have to click individually on those items, and you can lock those files one by one. So now these bottom 3 files, the Forces Worksheet 2, free body diagrams, and friction key have all been locked. My students would never be able to see those. The nice thing about the file feature on Canvas is Warren has, through the Canvas program, we have a very large amount of space to store. Right now it says my storage used, I'm using 0 out of just under 5 gigs. I believe we're somewhere close to 50 gigabytes worth of space. And I know if you need more drive space, you just need to contact Stephanie Halfan, and she said she will open up in more file space as teachers need it one by one. So if you run out of storage space, let her know. You'll get more storage space for your file. So that's how you add a file or folder to an individual class. So right now, this new folder, Forces 5 or Unit 5 Forces, is only visible through my Warren Physics class. Most of you probably have more than one section of the class that you're teaching. So the next thing comes up is, how do I get another section of the same course to see those files? Unfortunately, at the beginning of the year when we started off with Canvas, for me, for example, I had 5 sections of physics. If I wanted my classes to each see the same files, I had to do that same step that I just walked you through 5 separate times. So there's this feature with Canvas that allows you to cross-list a course. So I'm going to go back up to my Courses tab, and now I see my 2 physics courses, Warren Physics and Warren Physics 2. I'm going to take my second physics section here and make it a part of my first physics section. What that will allow is I'm going to treat Warren Physics as like my master course. I'm going to do everything in there, and then all my students are going to be able to see my files, and I only have to upload a file once. It saves us a little time, and the students still get to benefit the same no matter what section they're in. So click on a second section of your course. I'm going to click on Physics 2. Now when I click on that, you can see it's a very blank page. There's been nothing. If If you look off on the left side, I don't even have files tab. There's nothing in this course yet. So if I clicked on files, I'm not going to see any of the folders that I had in that previous course because I haven't cross-listed it yet. So for this, what you're going to do is down at the bottom on the left side in that navigation bar, you should have a settings tab. Click on settings, and then the second tab is sections. So when I click on sections, and then you're going to see the course title. Click on your course title. Now it's going to pull up this page where it tells you your course title, the number of people that are enrolled in it. So right now I made a practice course. There's only one person in it. It's just me. But if you click on your actual course with your students, you should see, it should say 28 active enrolled, and it's going to list everybody's name the whole way down. What you want to do to cross-list this section, so like I said, I'm going to take Warren Physics 2 and make it part of Warren Physics, the first course that I have. Off on the right side in that navigation bar, the second option is cross-list this section. Click on that, and it pulls up a new little window for you. Cross-list this section. What you want to do is search for the course. Now, in searching for the course that you want to cross-list it to, back on your main screen, right under the Warren logo in the top left corner, there's a little code there. Now, mine's really simple. It just says Warren 2, but your other courses might say something like what you can see right now on my screen. It says physics-Malkowski, and it says section 1, S1 for semester 1. That's the title. You need to highlight that, copy it. When you click on this cross-list window, I'm going to search for that course I want to cross-list it to. So it's Warren Physics. Now, even though I have the option typed in right here, or if you copy and paste it in, you still need to go down into the drop-down menu and physically click on that course title. So Warren Physics is the one that I want to copy it to. I'm going to click on that. Now you see this new part that appeared. It says selected course. So I've selected that I'm going to copy everything or cross-list to Warren Physics. Click the blue button, cross-list this section. It takes a second. Up at the top of your screen, you should see a green bar that pops up. Lets you know that it's been successful, it's taken place. Now we can look at a few changes that have happened. Look on the left side of your screen and those files that I added. Now look, my files tab I can click on. So when I go to that, there's all my folders. So what this has done for me now is back up on my courses tab. If you remember before when I highlighted this, there was 3 courses. There was this Physics-Malkowski, there was Warren Physics, and then there was a third one, Warren Physics 2. Since I've cross-listed that, now it's been joined up with this main course. So you can figure that out if you're combining students from multiple sections. Click on the People tab on the left side, and you'll actually see the list of people that come in. So now, clicking on this, I'm in my Warren Physics class. See, it says right up here in the top left corner, just Warren. I click on the People tab. I'm the only person in the class right now, but look under the section, and it'll tell you what section those people are from. So I'm part of Warren Physics and Warren Physics 2. So both my sections are joined. Now this lets me do everything one time. I don't need to repeat it for the individual sections. So now all those files I loaded up with you previously, they're here for the students. They're still locked like they were. It just makes everything a little bit quicker for us. We only have to do it one time. The last thing I want to show you guys is how to add a discussion post. So if you click on the discussion tab off on the left side, let's have you click on the blue button now in the top right corner that says discussion. Reason you might want to use the discussion is to maybe continue something from class conversation you're having with your students and have them be able to respond in an environment where they can actually write out what they want to say and then have their peers even review and comment back on what those people have said. So to let multiple viewpoints be shared, everybody gets to express their opinion, and then everybody gets to comment on each other's. And you don't have to spend class time raising hands and calling them individuals. Just a new way to carry on a discussion from the class. So first thing, create a title for your discussion. I'm just going to call it physics. Do not hit the enter button after doing that. So I'm going to redo that really quick. Click on discussion, title it physics, and then in this window below that looks like a word editor, you've got a couple different options to change the style of your font. It works pretty much just like Microsoft Word. So, you know, how do you want to propose your first discussion? I used one, for example, that was an introduce yourself style discussion at the beginning of the school year. So for this one, I'm just going to give my students an easy question of what do you already know about physics? And what would you like to learn in this class? So there's my question. Now I can add more, I can make it a bullet list and give them multiple points to address, like say number one, uh, state what you have learned. Number two, state what you expect to learn. As you scroll down, some of the other options that you have, you can choose to add a file. Maybe you have a Word document already, something you maybe hand out in class, and you can just title up in the word editor and say, uh, you know, please click on the file below to open that, and then respond in the actual discussion board. So this choose a file works just like downloading any file to a web page. The options, there's four little options here. You can choose to actually grade or not grade your discussion posts. Since Canvas at this point with Warren is not synced up with PowerTeacher, I choose to not grade anything because otherwise I have to go back and manually move all the grades over. Once Warren and PowerSchool and Canvas are synced up together, you can choose to actually grade your discussion board posts, and then as you put a grade into Canvas, it will automatically move it over into PowerSchool for you. Couple other options. The one I like to use is allow threaded replies. If you're familiar with Facebook, it works just like that. You can comment on a friend's photo, and then other people can comment on your post. Um, so I like the threaded discussion. I like this allow threaded replies option. Um, this group discussion option, this only applies if you set up groups within your class. I don't use that feature, but it's something you can easily look into. And then at the bottom, the available from and until options. If you click on the little calendar, you can actually choose when do you want the discussion board to be visible by your students. So I want to say October 8th is the first day that I want them to be able to view it. Now, if you do not select anything for the until box, that means on October 8th, your students will start to see this discussion board, and it'll never go away. But let's say it's a graded assignment. I only want them to have 1 week to work on it. So I'm going to say I'm going to only have it available until October 15th, and then I can click done. Even more specific, you can set a time of the day. So I can say by 9:30, and then I'm going to say p.m. So they only have until 9:30 p.m. on the night of the 15th to finish commenting on this discussion board. When you have that, you can click the save, and now it's going to save your discussion. You're not quite finished yet though. If you want your students to start responding on this, and this goes for pretty much anything in Canvas, somewhere near the top, there's always going to be this little cloud logo. And right now you can see my cloud is grayed out. It's because I have not published this discussion board, and I need my students to be able to see this so that they can actually start to reply to this. So all you have to do is click the publish button. It'll say publishing, and now you can see it's a green button that says published. So you got that little check mark, that's good. If you want to pull it out, you want to edit something, you can always unpublish it. Right now I'm just hovering over, so the next click would unpublish this discussion board. But if you want to make minor changes, you can always click on the edit button. I can change the title of it, I can change my question around or add something to it. Just make sure you always click save at the end, and make sure you're always seeing this green cloud. As people start to respond, if you go back, click on the discussions tab on the left side. So now I'm looking for the discussion board. So you can see right here, this first one under discussions says not available until October 8th. So that's the one that I just created. I'm gonna click on that, and there's nothing you can do yet because it's not available. But I'm going to click on one of my other discussions so you can see exactly what an active discussion thread looks like. So I'm going to go to this introduce yourself discussion that I had in my previous class. Maybe not that one. Let's try. There you go. When you have an active discussion board, it simply works like this. Under that search for entries or author, you'll see this little bar. It says reply. You can click on it. It says, hey look, I am writing a discussion board wall. So you can type anything you want. When you're done, you click post reply, and now it actually says at 10:01 p.m. I posted this discussion. If I go and I want to edit it, I can actually edit it. Say something new. Just click done. And now this is the cool feature. It says that it was edited by me at 10:02 p.m. So you as the teacher get to see everything your students do. The best part is the delete. So I want to delete this entry. It's not what I wanted to post. Now it says this post was deleted by me at 10:03 p.m. It keeps track of everything. So if you assign something to your class, your students can edit each other's posts. But if you have a student that says, hey, I did post on that, you can go back through and see you did post. And then, so and so, like I deleted that post at a later time. So you always know what students have posted, what students have not posted. All different options to use with this discussion board. That's all I'm going to talk about for today. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you can get started using your Canvas webpage.